Aloha friends, welcome back to my channel. Today, mommies, daddies, everybody in the channel, I would like to talk to you about the 5 habits why you're probably still broke. As stay-at-home mom, we can still provide and do things to be able to earn money, and sometimes there are some hindrance to achieve certain goals, to why we are not achieving the goals of, maybe we want to be financially free even though we're stay at home, or even if you're not stay at home, you have a full-time job as a mom or dad or single person, but for some reason something is hindering you from achieving the goal that you want. And that happens, and I totally understand that, because the same thing as me, I really want to achieve financial freedom. So now I'm taking the time to actually learn about financial strategies and learn about those bad habits so I can cut them off or trim it off so I can be able to move forward. So today we're going to talk about those 5 habits to why you probably are still broke or not reaching that financial goal that you really wanted. So today I'm just here in my living room. So my baby is still sleeping, so that's good. So we can talk about this. So the 5 habits that we're going to talk about, the first one is, let me just take a look at my notebook. As mummies, we tend to forget things, so we like to write things in the notebook. So how many of you guys have notebooks sometimes when to remind themselves for some reason? I don't know, I get to be more forgetful than I used to be. So I really need my notebook. So the first thing in my notebook is impulse buying. I don't know if you can see it with a pink marker, but impulse buying, but maybe I could write it somewhere here so that you could be able to remember. The first one is impulse buying. So sometimes when we get overwhelmed, we buy little things, and we don't think about the prices. We just say, oh, it's not as much, oh, it's on sale, I will buy it. And I'm sure a lot of mummies have this when we go to the mall or even an Amazon or other types of shopping online. We tend to look at the prices and it looks good, and it's for some reason we always tell ourselves that we need it, not for ourselves. Maybe sometimes we need it for our babies, but then the prices adds up. The more you think it's cheaper, it's just impulse buying. You don't really need those. So therefore, that's one of the habit, is that you shouldn't buy things that you think you wanted or believe that you need. Because I know I have done that. There's so many things I have bought earlier for my baby that I thought maybe I needed, but for now, it's not even being used as much. You know what I mean? So really take a look at those indulge or impulse buying. Make sure that you are aware, make awareness about, be mindful of the things that you're buying, and make sure that you're only buying the things that you need so that you don't overspend. So one of the things that we actually do is, it's very easy now because it's just a click of the button. We have our phones and we just click, 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 and buy, 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 buy. Yeah, so that's one of the first bad habits to why we are not achieving our goal, because we could use those money that we have been using for impulse buying for something else, but now it's being used for other liability items that's sitting around your house that probably you're not even using, or maybe you use it once, but that's it, right? So mummies, take a look at those. Maybe you can be able to do something with those impulse buy. Maybe you could review those products and then post it on YouTube, and maybe you can make something out of it. So those are something that you think. Impulse buying, definitely one of the first habit. The second habit is procrastination. Yes, this word is coming over and over again. This word has been talked about yesterday too in my class when we were in my financial class, is procrastination. Procrastination is basically the end of all when it comes to creating your goal, because sometimes we're so used to, either doing things later. Sorry, I think you might be hearing my dog snoring in the background. Sorry about that. But procrastination, it kills your ability to reach goals, because we either push things later on, push things in paying certain bills. Oh, later, I'll just pay it later. Or credit card bills, you're gonna say, okay, I'll just pay a little bit right now, or just pay the minimum. I think later I will stay ahead. So the more you push things in paying bills or doing something that you really want to do to be able to achieve your goal or become financially free, it will, it's just straight it along. So you will not be able to achieve it because you're just delaying the process. The most important is that delaying the paying the bills, especially with credit cards, that is definitely a bad tat. So I have definitely had a hard learning about that, because I was the same thing as you guys, just saying, delaying it, saying, okay, maybe I'll just pay minimum, it's gonna be okay, I'll eventually catch up. But obviously it's not gonna catch up on you, it's just gonna be piling up. So it's better to just do it now. And if you are going to use that credit card, to pay it the full amount every month, so that you don't get that bad debt of high interest. Remember, we're going to talk about good debt and bad debt later on in more in more details about the difference between the two. But definitely be aware and of what you're spending again, and be aware of not delaying paying bills, or not delaying the goals that you wanted. If you wanted to create a short-term goal of creating an emergency fund for your life and your family, instead of putting away, like, spending $500 on something, you could put away that $500 towards your emergency fund, and you can do it now, not later. Again, procrastination, it is the end of all when it comes to creating goals, because we're so just used to, like, oh, we'll just do it later. Oh, don't have time, I'm busy, I don't have much money. We prioritize other things other than the thing that we really want to do, right? So the third thing that I have a hard time doing this is budgeting. Sometimes no budget is not good. Like going to groceries and not knowing the budget or what you're supposed to buy inside a grocery, it is not good. It is definitely gonna put you into not that, but gonna put you in the worst time, because you're gonna be able to overspend again, because you're seeing everything. You don't know what's your budget. You're just picking up random stuff. So it tends to make you overspend, and you're unaware of what or how much you're spending and how much you're actually left over. So at the end of the day, you'll feel like, oh, how come I don't have money? Because you did not look at the budgeting. And plus, budgeting is definitely a skill, something that I have really have to work on. It takes a lot of practice, but I think the more you get into the habit of creating a budget, it gonna get better and better. So it's something also I'm practicing right now with my with the class I'm doing with financial strategy, is budgeting, the ability to say, hey, how much am I gonna spend for grocery, how much am I gonna spend for this, bills, and all this, because it gives you an overview of what where you're putting your money in, and that helps you, like, oh, okay, so with all these things, if everything is good, if I follow this budget, I should be left over with this amount of money, which I could use for something else. So that's the beauty of budgeting. So if you don't have budget, that is most likely a habit to why you are not having, why you're financially unstable right now, or does not meet your financial goal at the moment. So that's the third thing, is no budget. The fourth thing is indulging in vices. Well, it could be good vices or bad vices, but indulging in, like, things that doesn't give, it means it's for fun, like going, like, alcohol, other things, like other vices that that is not really necessary, it's not a necessity for you. uh, but indulging too much in those things gives you again that limitless, because now you're spending too much in those things, like video games. It's not really gonna, yes, it's gonna give you happiness for a few minutes or so, but then it's not gonna give you, it's not doesn't, it's not an asset that grows over time. So you have to be mindful in terms of spending vices. Not saying that you cannot spend in those vices, just be mindful on how much you spend. It has to be within reasonable limits, where it's not like, like over the top, that all your money goes to that vice that you have. Okay, so that's what the fourth reason why you are probably still not financially stable. If you're overspending on some of the vices or bad habits that you want, there's nothing, it's not saying that, I'm not saying that you're not allowed to spend on those vices. You can, but just be mindful. It's within, it has to be within reasonable limits that you are spending. Okay. The last thing, and the fifth and the most important thing to why we are not financially stable, or why we haven't reached that goal that we wanted, we're still stuck in the rat cycle of paycheck to paycheck, it is because we don't invest in ourselves. Yes, it's good to have a job, to have, like, paycheck that is coming every 2 weeks and stuff like that, but it's, that paycheck is not sometimes enough to stretch on everything, like especially with the inflation happening, everything's getting expensive. So sometimes that paycheck is not enough. So the investing in yourself is learning a new skill, able to create a new side hustle for yourself. And as stay-at-home mom, it's so easy for us. I mean, it's not always so easy because we have children to take care of, but being a stay-at-home mom, you have so many opportunities to do side hustle, and it's all online. You can do it online, you could do it, well, online is easier. You could do other things, side hustle, like if you have a spare home at your house, you could Airbnb that house, you could rent it out. But there are so many skills and side hustle that you can learn online. But sometimes we always make excuses to not invest in ourselves. So that's the problem, is that sometimes we just need to learn that little skills to create another source of income that will give us, again, a channel, or a channel for us to be able to create another source of income, so that we can be investing, we can be able to create our emergency fund, we can create a savings account for other things, or other goals, short-term goals, mid-term goals, or any goals that you wanted financially. Because not by not having that extra cash flow, and you're just relying on one cash flow, which is your paycheck. But if you're a stay-at-home mom, there's only one paycheck, it wouldn't really be enough to create that wealth that you wanted, right? So remember, it is very important to really invest in yourself. If you wanted to learn a new skill, you wanted to learn something new, go get it. Go find somebody who will teach you that skill. So for today, if you wanted to learn more in depth about, financial strategy, how to become financially free, how to become investing, I'll put the link in the description below of our amazing power course with the Invest Diva. It will teach you more in depth about, how to break all these bad habits, and how to create new ones, and also to be able to invest in yourself and learn a new skill in investing, budgeting, and basically become a manager of your own money, so that you can achieve the wealth and goal journey, or the wealth journey that you really wanted, the goal, the financial goal that you really wanted. That's it, the financial goal. Sorry about that. So thank you so much, and hope that gives you that that food of thought to be able to think about these 5 habits. Stay tuned as we dive in more in details in all of this. Like I said earlier, we're gonna talk about the difference between bad debt and good debt, and how that could be useful for you in achieving some of your financial goal. So other than that, that's it for today, mummies, daddies, singles. But friends, that's it for today. I hope you learned something. Stay tuned for more videos and more learning as I explore different things here. Either explore something in business, explore things with my son, explore things as I live here as a stay-at-home mom in Mont Tremblant. That's it for now for Explore Mary. Thank you so much, friends. See you again later. Bye.